Welcome to Let's Talk Influence. My name is Ashvin Dhyriam. I'm sitting here with Kiruba Shankar, founder for the Professional Speakers Association, also CEO of a digital marketing firm called Breathe, and also an agriculturalist and also a professor in digital marketing. Kiruba, it's a pleasure talking to you.
Absolutely, man.
How do you manage these titles? There's so much from, I would say, 3 decades of experience working in the digital firm. So the journey should have given you lots of experiences.
You're correct, yeah. So the advantage of starting very early on, and I remember the time when we started off is when we didn't even have internet service provider to the time that we have come in. It exposes you to various levels of maturity of the internet as a platform.
Exactly.
So it's been a fabulous experience.
And this experience also leads you to different platforms. Some will call you to speak, some will call you to teach, some will call you to say, hey, can you coach me? Can you coach my teams? I think one of the things which we want to probably ask, which the audience is asking is, how do I understand platform? Each platform is different and each platform has a different frequency. Especially the digital stream is constantly changing. Algorithms change. I want to be an effective influencer. What would be your take on understanding platforms?
It's a beautiful question, yeah. The first most important platform that I would recommend everyone to do is very old school. It's been in existence for 30 years, but it is absolutely relevant even to this day. And that is to have your own website. So I usually ask this to influencers. Can you name one successful company in the world that does not have its own website? You take Microsoft, Microsoft will have its own website. Important point I'd like to illustrate is that every influencer is a brand. You are the CEO of your brand. Right? So you have to consider that yourself, that if you were a company, how would you treat yourself, right? So the first thing is, have a proper website, and the website has to be professionally developed. Don't skimp on trying to get free websites and doing it. Get a professional person, design it very nicely. So that's something that I would recommend. And the reason why I insist on a website is because this is your owned media. Being present on other social media is not your own place. The difference is between living in your own house versus living in a rented house, right? And that's the difference. So you should at any point in time have your own house, which is the equivalent. What I mean is you should have your own website, your own domain name.
That's your address.
That's your address. Have your own domain name and have your own your presence on internet. Now coming on to social media platforms, there are quite a lot of options. If you as an influencer wants to target people who are 40 years and above, 40, 50s, 60s, then I would strongly recommend your presence on Facebook. Facebook is an excellent platform. It is, even till this day, it is the world's largest social media platform, and I would definitely recommend you having a good presence on Facebook. If your target audience is of younger demographic, if they are in their 20s and early 30s, then Instagram is a very powerful one. If you're targeting corporate professionals, vice presidents, presidents, CEOs, head of HR, head of learning and development, then you have to be present on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a very powerful platform if you're looking at attracting that kind of an audience. If you're looking out for visually learning people, then videos are absolutely the way to go. I firmly believe no matter who you are, no matter what is your area of expertise, no matter what is your area of strength, the skill that everyone has to develop is producing good quality videos. And especially with 5G coming in, and next is 6G will be at least 10 times faster than what we have experienced in 5G. It's going to change the landscape majorly. So this is a good time. For those of you who have started off with videos, kudos to you. For many of us who have not started on videos, I would definitely encourage people to invest in learning about how to shoot good videos. And this is your studio, right? So you don't have to think of very expensive equipments. Just with the power of mobile phones getting better and better, you can use this as a way to produce.
In fact, this itself is a platform.
This itself is a platform. You're correct.
Yeah.
So that would be my advice. Another one, in the previous episode, remember Ashwin, we were discussing about the importance of learning about your target audience. The reason why learning the target audience is important is it's also very crucial for you to understand their attention span, right? people who are slightly older tend to consume videos for a slightly longer length. If you are in your 20s, that comes down to a few minutes. If you're a teenager, it comes down only to a few seconds. So understanding that will also play a strong role in the length of your videos that you're producing, or the length of your articles or your blog that you're producing. So it's very important.
So understanding platforms is one, but also each platform has a separate DNA. Am I right, Kiruba? Okay, if it's Facebook, what should I do and what should I not do? If it's YouTube, so what would you tell viewers who are asking you that question?
Good. So if the motivation or if the expectation is to earn money out of your content, right now the best platform to be present is really YouTube, because YouTube is probably the best platform who's able to share revenues with you. Facebook, unfortunately, the people who are making money out of Facebook are people who have already demonstrated success. Only they are able to see money, but for the general public or for the person who's just getting started on a platform, unfortunately, Facebook is not something where you can expect to earn money. The same thing with Instagram. Instagram, it's the top 1 or 2% of content producers who are able to leverage and able to earn money. But for most of the people, Instagram, it's not a successful place for you to make money. However, does that mean that you should not be present? Absolutely not. You need to be present on Instagram because of the wide reach it is able to get. You need to be present on Facebook because it is, after all, the world's largest social media network. And exposure over a long period of time will change to commercial success as well.
Right. That's a great point, Kiruba. But let me also ask you that question and we could jump to the next episode of the next series. The question which most ask when it comes to platforms is, yes, I want to be on all these platforms, but you know what? What if people criticize me? You know, what if people just simply throw stones because it's so public, it's so wide open, and there are people out there who have great content. They're great speakers, great, with content, but they are afraid to come into all these platforms because they're afraid of criticism. What would be your take for them?
It's a beautiful question. Because there are so many of us who are very sensitive, and sometimes we take criticism very quickly to the heart.
Very personal,
and it starts to demotivate us. The skill set that you need to develop is that of a thick skin. So when you're going and putting content out there, expect people to appreciate you, expect people to also disagree with you. And in a very rare instances, there could also be negative trolls. So when you go with the right expectation, saying that there could be people who will like us, that there'll be people who don't like us. So when you go with that mindset, then you will be fine. Like, for example, we all know that Apple products are the best, right? But there are so many people who are unhappy with Apple products. So if Apple took it to heart, saying that, hey, some people don't like it, so hence I'm going to stop producing my iPhones and iMacs, that's going to be bad. So there will always be detractors. There is no escaping negativity. There is no escaping negative criticism. But if you go with the mindset saying that I'm going to turn this negativity or this criticism to my positive advantage, I will use this as a way to improve myself, that's a great spirit to go into.
That's a good point, Kiruba. We're talking about platforms, and I like the way we started, the power of a website. Even a website is a platform. Your mobile is your platform. I like the way you say that every platform is important for an influencer. Kiruba, what's the next episode going to be about? And we're talking about influencers. We're talking about how I can be a good influencer. What can I expect in the next video?
In the next video, we're going to go deeper into Instagram as a platform because there is so much younger audience who are going to be coming in. Instagram by itself is an ocean, and you need to learn the tips on how to really master it. So we're going to be touching on Instagram specifically, on Instagram Reels and Instagram as a platform.
I'm looking forward for that. And friends, we're talking about Let's Talk Influence. Let me also add about platforms. One key point which I learned from what Kiruba is saying is, don't worry about audience. If your content is right, if you're consistent, if you're authentic, if you are real, audience will come to you. And we're going to learn how you can be an influencer. Don't miss to push that subscribe button, and let's see you soon in the next episode with Kiruba Shankar.